You would think I wouldn't have stage fright or feel nervous or anxious about this sort of thing anymore, but it kind of feels like the very first time I ever recorded a video at all for YouTube. I even... I just... fuck. I just had this idea and I'm like, I'm going to try it, but I'm like, as far as what I wanted to talk about, I feel very nervous. But that's... I don't know. But main thing I want to try to say is this. I want all of you out there to be an amazing success. I want all of you to do your best. I want all of you to never give up and keep trying. Now, granted, you got to be reasonable, okay? Life isn't an anime. You know, if you overdo it, I mean, you could easily wind up tearing something, wind up going to the hospital, wind up getting hurt. Like, if you go to the gym, be reasonable. I mean, your main goal should be don't be carried out in a damn stretcher, okay? Your main goal when you go to a gym is don't get hurt. That being said, I think everyone out there should try to be as fit as possible. But of course, everyone has different limitations, and you should try to push those limitations, but safely. I mean, after all, if you have any concerns at any point, you should talk to your doctor. But main point is everyone should try to be as healthy and strong as possible. That being said, I am definitely fatter than I would like to be, and I feel like all my attempts at the gym are a complete failure, and I feel like the more I try at the gym, I just seem to get weaker. But I'm going to keep trying. So the main thing I'm trying to say to you guys is I want you guys to keep trying too. It's just also I don't want anyone to do anything dumb and get themselves hurt or in the hospital because they like tear their bicep or dumb something. You know, I want everyone out there to be safe. I mean, I want all of you to not get hurt and to live long, happy lives, but I also want you to be successful of yourself. I want you guys to be proud of yourselves. I want you guys to feel like you either have a place you belong or that you can claim a place that you belong. That if there's something that you need in life to feel better or more value, I want you to feel that it's actually possible for you to achieve it. And like I said, I mean, like heck, I think I'm going to get a book on how to juggle. Granted, I do like 50 different things at once. I'm trying to learn Japanese. I'm trying to go to the gym. Of course, I work lots of hours, and sometimes I'm overtime, but... And of course, there's usually other complications of things, and of course, life in general. But, you know, it would be kind of boring if everything was too easy, wouldn't it? Besides, sometimes I like to just sit and read books for hours, whether it be a book of Warhammer lore or something. And a lot of times, you gotta just do what you like, what you enjoy. Heck, my channel is primarily a Let's Play channel with a focus on comedy, where I'm trying to make people laugh. But in general, it's the primary purpose of this channel is I just want to ramble at my computer. I'm just a random fucking dude, and I like just talking to my computer. Granted, it does probably stem out of a few things. Part of it is it's an obsessive hobby, and I just enjoy making videos. I just like doing it. I'm never going to make a cent off of it. I never want to, not that there's any reason YouTube should ever pay me for any of this shit. This is the most cringy fucking shit on the fucking planet. And I talk out on my ass all the time, and half the time I space out or start falling asleep, or I start forgetting what the fucking video's about. But I just like rambling at my fucking computer. I just like... And granted, part of that also stems out of another thing. I feel that there's a bit of a pandemic out there. Especially if you look at... especially a lot of subsets of like people that are into anime or manga or people that are listening to ASMR stuff. There's lots of people out there that just feel that there's nothing special about them. They feel that they're worthless. They feel that everything they do is a failure. That every time they try to do something, you know, it's going to go wrong, and they're like, ah, shit. That's why I shouldn't even fucking bother trying in the first place. I was better off not even trying. I was better off not trying. Because, you know, if you just try, okay, that's the first step to failing. But here's the thing, you can't just do that. I mean, heck, this picture here, granted, I can show you another picture of the same character. Just give me a second. If I can. Yes. It's kind of funny. This is a fighting manga, and yet I'm struggling to control a fucking mouse on a trackpad. But, like, this is the same character right here. And what that's more so into is, granted, out of all the fighting mangas, this is more realistic out of all of them. I mean, a lot of them either completely ridiculous, and when it comes to physical anatomy, like, here's the thing. You shouldn't feel, you shouldn't beat yourself up if you're more overweight than you want to be or not as muscular as you can be, because a lot of things, people are either not natural or they've been training their whole damn lives. And even then, there might be other stuff going on. You should simply try to be the best you can be. And like I said, I would say push your limits further and beyond, but I'd be worried that somebody would do something and get themselves hurt. And I don't want anyone to get hurt. But I want you guys to be able to be the best that you can be. And I want you to be stronger. Now, of course, while fighting mangas and stuff like that are really awesome, you can learn some stuff from that. Of course, don't actually use it if you can avoid it in real life, because, the easiest way to avoid getting hurt in a fight is to avoid being in a fight. That being said, everyone's lives are different. I mean, honestly, granted, it's been a while since I've really had to be in a fight, but if I look back in the past, I was in more fights than anybody I ever met. But most of that just consisted of 5 people at a time, 5v1, beating the shit out of me. So it's not much of a fighting experience if I feel like I got my ass kicked every time. But hey, I've gotten my ass kicked more than anyone I've known ever been in a fight. Though honestly, I don't think I could really be in much of a fight anymore nowadays. A lot of my teeth are more so hollow now due to a job I worked where the job was making me sick and I was vomiting, so acid kind of eats at your teeth. So I already lost a few of the teeth from that. But a lot of my teeth are kind of hollow, so I kind of expect, I actively avoid eating apples and stuff because I feel like I would lose half my teeth. So I imagine if anyone punched me in the face, I would lose half my teeth. Also, I'm pretty sure a lot of my bones have lost density, and I'm older, and everything hurts all the time. Like, I remember being in mosh pits when I was fucking younger. And now I'm like, my knees and back just hurt going up the fucking stairs. And that's another thing. Sometimes I'll watch, I'll be a bit restrictive on what I do when I go to the gym, just because I have a job I have to do, which requires, standing manual labor, and I have to have, hand-eye coordination and control over what I'm doing. So obviously, I have to move quite briskly. Granted, I'm not jogging or anything, but I'm walking and turning it nonstop while lifting my arms to move stuff and build stuff. So if I was sore or in too much pain, then I wouldn't be able to do my job, and well, that's how I pay my rent. So obviously, it's okay, I have to push a certain amount of push-ups and bench press and stuff like that, but at the same time, I'm okay, if I push too hard, I could end up in the hospital. Also, if I push too hard, I might not do my job well enough, and then, lose my job, even though I don't really like my job, but, I do it because it pays my bills. But at the same time, it's just also, even if that weren't a concern, you have to be careful not to lift too much, because you ever see those videos of people, seriously injuring themselves at gyms? Now, granted, some of them are because they're doing really stupid things. And some of it's because they're just pushing way beyond what's reasonable, and they wind up seriously hurting themselves. And a lot of times that stuff requires not only very invasive surgeries, but also very expensive surgeries, even with insurance. And I'm and even then it would require lots of time recovery, and then you can't work well at that point. I don't know. I think I'm getting off topic. I am really... That's another thing. I go off on tangents, and I talk about random shit. Still nervous, but I just like talking to the computer, but it's kind of like when you see somebody in public and you want to go talk to them, you're going to feel nervous and anxious anyway. That's called fucking social anxiety. That doesn't mean you shouldn't talk to people. It's kind of like this. You're scared of something? Yeah. Fear helps you to be reasonable. I've been I don't like heights. I really do not like heights. But a lot of that's because I have a terrible sense of balance, and I know that if I fall off a building, I'm, 1, going to get seriously hurt, and 2, if I'm on roofing and doing shit like that, given my balance, I'm more likely to fall and hurt myself. So it's okay, here's an activity that has an associated risk, and that I know I'm more prone to be in the category of person that would get hurt in this risky activity, and that in that category I'm more likely to receive a more serious injury. So it's okay, it's more so, okay, let's have some common sense to avoid, breaking a bone or becoming crippled or some shit, Same time, I've gone fucking mountain climbing. I've been 2 fucking miles up in the sky on a fucking mountain where I could see into multiple different states, hundreds and not thousands of miles away. Because here's the thing. Where I live, we're at sea level. That's the elevation here. I took a plane ride to a place near the Rocky Mountains. This was back in 2004. So I was actually a teenager then. Anyway, the base level of that area, just for the cities, was already a mile above sea level. I actually had horrible stomach pains and abdominal cramping for the first day and a half, and I couldn't eat. I couldn't even take down any water or anything. It was just my body seemed to freak out from the change of altitude. But, yeah. From that point on, I went fucking mountain climbing. I made like maybe a day or so in the city, saw a bit of it. It was interesting. But most of the time I spent up in the fucking mountains, like 2 weeks up in the fucking mountains. And at the very top peak of it, I was more than 2+ miles up above sea level, and it was like 60 mile per hour fucking gusts, and it was like, shit. And you had to wear sunglasses not just for the sun, but just like for the wind not to hurt your fucking eyes, and it felt like constantly, like everything was wanting to push you over. Heck, there was lots of times where even on the flatter parts of the trails, like every time you took a step, it was just part of the ground fucking gave way, and you felt like you're gonna fucking fall down. You're like, at one point you're having to use a walking stick to just keep your balance that way you don't fall further. And of course there's parts where you're doing bushwhacking or, going more vertically up, which is a kind of a pain in the ass. Especially back then I had a fucking pack where, all my gear shit, because, camping, and it did kind of suck because you weren't toilets or showers or anything, and everything you have that is you're carrying with you. I mean, I had a fucking 60 or 70 pounds on my back. Granted, it's got that extra attachment that it goes around your waist as well, because it's supposed to divvy up some of the weight so that some of the load is put on your hips instead of entirely on your back, because if you have like a backpack that's 60 to 70 pounds, I think it was like 65 pounds, I'm not sure, it was like forever ago, 2004, but if you're supporting all that with like a backpack straps on your back, not only would that really, really hurt you if you're not used to it, especially, but also more like your straps are going to fucking break. But like I said, that's why it's got a secondary thing that goes around your hips, even though it definitely wouldn't fit around me now, so I'm calling myself a fucking fat ass. But I'll say this. Those straps that went around my waist to put some of that weight on my hips, even after the first day, when I unbuckled that to take it off, I was bleeding from my belt waist. Like the area of your waist where you put a belt around, from the amount of weight and from the amount of movement I did carrying that weight, I was bleeding from my waist even from day one. And it's just, it's better than having all the weight entirely on your back and shoulders, but at the same time, even with having that more ergonomic way of doing it, it's still, oh my god. But that being said, I have done jobs that were not safe at all. Jobs that required me to be in high places, jobs that required me to be in dangerous places. At one point I had to be on a ladder on another ladder. Or just doing stuff up high. That was stupid. But, And then again, I've also done rock climbing. And I mean 100-foot fucking walls. And I've done belaying off of really, really high things as well. Granted, really felt anxious the whole fucking time. Didn't pee myself, but definitely felt like I needed to. Let's see what else. Shit, I've been in helicopters and shit. I've been on roller coasters, though the entire roller coaster ride was just me screaming and cussing nonstop. Heck, there was a special weighted unicycle thing that went across a tightrope in the air, but of course it had, I don't know how to describe it, like a sort of pendulum below it. It was like a super heavy, dense weight below it, so that it would technically make it, I'm sure that if I were to have tried to, I probably could have set it off balance, but of course that would have made me fall 50 fucking feet into concrete, and that would have probably been very painful. But, as long as you don't do anything stupid and try to shake a bunch, the weight at the bottom should be enough to offset. No, they did have certain weight limits. I think it was no one over 270 or something. Though I was only like 170 pounds. 170 back then. So, but it's like, yeah, as long as you're not over 300 pounds, you're fine. Because the weight's meant to offset it to where it shouldn't be possible for you to fall. But of course, you know, if you were to do something stupid, like jump off of it, or try to tilt it, yeah, you probably could. But why would you do that? Why? But why, though? That being said, I did do it. I did the fucking unicycle thing on the tightrope, which of course I wouldn't have any kind of balance even last one fucking foot without naturally falling. I would never naturally do that because, well, I know I don't have that skill, and the margin of error is way too great, and the consequence, like the risk reward is like not at all proportional there. Whereas like say a video game, I can do whatever fucking bullshit I want in a video game because at the end of the day, it's just, oh, okay, let's play Grand Theft Auto. You know, at the end of the day, you just reset the game. It's cool. Whereas in real life, well, guess what? You're in prison. Or you fucked up. This is like, or, you know, you're seriously injured. You know, you have to be very careful. Because one, you could seriously hurt yourself. Or two, you could harm somebody else. And you have to be mindful of other people. Whereas a video game, you just, you know, it's just a bunch of data. And you're just, you know, it's a lot easier to just control a car with a joystick than having to push the pedal, having to steer the wheel. Okay, I'm off topic. I'm not really sure what the topic is anymore. Main point is, like, I did that unicycle thing on a tightrope, like 50 fucking feet in the air. I will say this, though. I'm sure there were people able to hear me cussing and screaming, especially by the midway point of that. This was like 100 fucking feet long, that fucking rope. And the thing is this, it didn't connect to another platform. It connected to a wall that was still 50 fucking feet in the air. So that when you get to the wall, you then had to pedal backwards, not able to see where you went. I can definitely see down. I can definitely see fucking down. So, I'd say after halfway on the way there, started cussing. And then once it came to the point of going backwards, main point, scary shit, but I did it anyway. It's kind of like I rode roller coasters, which again, I don't think I can do that anymore just because I remember being a teenager riding that shit. I didn't even like heights then, but I did it just to do it, you know, face your fears sort of bullshit. And one, cussed so much, and then of course when you're going fast enough and it turns, you're moving so fast that you can't even pronounce fucking words anymore because your mouth's and the wind's in your face and you can't really say anything, but you're trying to cuss so much. But of course, even after you get off the roller coaster, I was like, my neck and my shoulders were like, oh my god. And even like the one muscle that's in between your bicep and tricep, you know, that usually gets stronger from push-ups, that was so fucking sore. By the way, this picture is from a manga that I actually recommended in a video called The Ministry of Off-Brand Anomalous Anime, which I did maybe like a year and a half ago or something, I don't know. But that was like forever ago. Let's say I'm going to link it in the description, but I think I'll link two other things. One about the NF search thing. One time I tried that, which of course I'll try it again in this video, but I'll probably do shit at it too. Like I've done it a few times, a couple of videos. Other than that, I might link the very first time I did some karaoke stuff, which wasn't even intended to upload. It was just me wanting to see how I sounded. And of course that was it with... it's like forever ago. But I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Like, hey, I'll say this. I didn't feel scared riding in the plane, even though I don't like heights. Because I'll say this. No matter how clumsy I am, I can't trip so fucking bad I fall out of the fucking plane. Or make the train, wow. Like I'm a fucking Thomas the Train going through the fucking sky. No. I can't trip so bad I fall out of the plane. And I can't trip so bad like I somehow fuck over the pilot and the pilot crashes the plane. Okay? I actually sat in the window seat, looked out, I enjoyed the view. We didn't have turbulence, felt cool with that. Because here's the thing, the main reason I dislike heights is, well, I know that I have a terrible sense of balance. I actually can't even ride a bicycle without falling my ass over. And it's not an issue like, oh, you could probably try and work at it better and be able to learn. Here's the thing. If I go out there, ride a bicycle, and then fall on my side and, like, hit my knee really hard, guess what? Well, now I can't do my job. And it's like, okay, I get fired for falling off a bicycle. Or what if I hurt myself? Like, okay, I can't afford that fucking hospital bill. I can't pay that. How am I going to afford that? Well, on a serious note, it's just that if I had to, I would probably force myself to try to not fall if it were that kind of situation. But for the most part, it's just the risk reward just isn't worth it there. That and it's just not something I enjoy. But I don't know where we're going with this. Main point is I enjoyed the window seat of the plane, okay? And it was cool to look down on the clouds and everything. And I didn't feel scared at all. Even though, because here's the thing, a lot of times the reason I'm concerned with heights is because I know that I'm likely to, because I'll trip, I'll fall. Sometimes my hand-eye coordination seems to do shit it shouldn't do. I've walked into a stop sign. There are times where I've been walking and I've just sort of, I don't know, get lightheaded all of a sudden, I fall to the side. That'd be dangerous if you're up somewhere high. It's one thing if you're just like walking along, like, okay, I'm going to go to the store, but instead of taking the car, I'll just walk there. It's not that far. And then, along the way, you just sort of get a little dizzy and fall to the side a little bit. That's fine. You just fall in some fucking grass. Now, if you're on top of a fucking building or some shit, that's more dangerous. Okay? I don't really know what the point of this fucking video is anymore. I just went off rambling. Which that's all this channel is. It's me rambling. Heck, a lot of these videos might come off as a bit... in general, this channel is very cringy. But this is probably the most cringiest, cursed corner of the internet. And a lot of times, the way I am, I'm pretty much actively alienating everybody out there by being a weird motherfucker that probably makes everyone feel uncomfortable. But heck, part of that is the beauty of this, that a lot of times in real life, you have to constantly just be mindful of how you are about everything. And it's like, for example, take affection. I feel very affection-starved and very lonely. And I feel very fucking depressed a lot of times. And a lot of times in my daily life, I feel like I just want to curl in a fucking ball on the ground and cry. That being said, you can't fucking do that in real life. You cannot do that. Like, take crying, for instance. You can't do that. You have to be mindful about who you do that with. It would have to be with people that you really trust, and people that wouldn't actually, just make fun of you for it. After all, we've all been in school and been bullied by people and shit. Heck, imagine every bad word you can think of. I've had it said to me. Which, heck, every kind of F word you can think about. What's really odd is I've been called the N-word too. Which, I'm extremely white. So that was... I still felt, the hate that was intended by it. But when you're white and you're called the N-word, it's more so very confusing. And it's just weird. And but it's still something I don't like. I do listen to some rap songs with that word, but I don't really like that word, but I understand other people, who are black, who are using it. But at the same time, I'm like, it's... But I still enjoy a lot of music, like, say, Roy Jones. Like, that's a really good song. But it's just... I don't know where we're going with this. I don't know. I'm spacing out. I probably should have drank a fucking Red Bull before this. Instead, I just took a shower. I drank a cup of Mountain Dew and some cheese. So that was... It was a very small cup of Mountain Dew. So I don't feel that's really going to be very effective. I almost felt like I was coughing a bit and it was wet. But that was fine. I just went to the bathroom, brushed my teeth a couple more times, and just coughed like 15 fucking loogies in the sink. And then cleaned the fucking sink. So, I don't know where we're going with this. I don't know. But this manga, like I said, I mentioned what manga was in the Ministry of Off-Brand video, but it's just like, it's about a character that's a bit of a wimpy, whiny character who's not very strong at all, and, well, not to try to spoil the story, but somebody who's like, feels like everyone's got, shadows in their eyes, and look at them, everyone just either looks at you like with pity or shame, or just that you're not of any value or not any worth. Heck, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who probably feel that in life, especially if there's people that you would want to impress, or people that you would want to like you, or just people you see in general as you walk down the street, you either feel that you are invisible to those people, or you feel that you're disgusting to them, or you're just a thing that to be seen as pathetic. Which, that does hurt. And that's the thing. Like me, myself, I don't want anyone to pity me for anything. And I don't want anyone to, I don't even know what fucking word to say. But I'm mainly curious is, are there other people out there who feel the same way? That, I'm sure there's lots of people out there that feel that, either they feel they're invisible, and other times they feel that they would rather be invisible. That they feel that if somebody takes notice of them, it'll be, oh, well, you're weak. Oh, you can't do this. Or you're a failure. Or you're dumb. Or lots of much worse words for dumb. Some of them... Sorry. Thinking about stuff. I need to try not to space out. Or just... I'm sure we've all had very bad words said to us, especially back when we were in school. But the funny thing is, like, that was forever ago, and that stuff still sticks with you. Because it just, you have an abundance of that negative feedback and just almost little or non-existent positive feedback. And there's a lot of people out there, they feel they're invisible. They feel that no one, like, they feel they go out to public, and they just feel they're completely invisible. Or if there was somebody they wanted to talk to, or that they would just be seen as invisible, that they're, non-existent. Or that you feel that either, one, you are invisible, and, you just don't matter, and, like, there's nothing special about you, and I'll say this, I have a guitar, I like to play it, I'm horrible at it, I'm not any better at it, my phone is ringing. Probably a telemarketer. Let me mute that. Okay, sorry about that. But like, I can't play my guitar worth a shit. I have a punching bag. I hit it quite a bit. Honestly, I'm pretty sure I'd be the worst boxer in the world. Even though I enjoy lots of, fighting animes, and, I do try to learn that stuff. Heck, the whole katas from the 2017 Street Fighter movie for the Hadokens, I've learned how to do that stuff. I've learned how to do the Tai Chi sort of stuff, and also try to mess around with some karate and all that stuff. Heck, I have my version of a Makiwara board, if you know what that is. But my version of that is just a textbook from school with a coarse rope tied around it, so that you just hold it in front of you and just pretty much Bruce Lee it. You can't hold off and punch it super hard, because you can't have a fucking book flying around, especially inside a house. You're, break something. And if you can't do it outside, because that would just be really weird, and everyone would probably look at me. And I would feel very embarrassed. Then again, I feel like I was the first person in the world to ever play Minecraft. Because back in the way past years, like, because we all got bullied for different reasons when we were younger. Whether you're like, okay, you're poorer than some people, or you're weaker, or just in general that, you don't like to hurt other people, and people see that as a sign of weakness, and then they single you out for it, and they try to attack you, or, push you downstairs, throw things at you, spit on you, throw rocks at you, beat the fucking shit out of you. I'll say this, being hit with fucking bricks hurts, being slammed in the ground fucking hurts, being stomped on hurts. Just being punched and kicked in general fucking sucks. But also just the idea that even beyond that, more than just the physical things, the terrible things people say, or just the way they look at you with their eyes. And Heck, this may sound a bit paranoid, but I mean, even though I live alone, everything's locked. You know, even though I know the front and back door of the apartment is locked, and I'm on the second floor, my bedroom door is also locked, and I have things barricading in front of the door, and I have like, I roll my dumbbells in front of the door and stuff like that, so slight paranoia there. Or let's say if I go to a restaurant or anything. Granted, I try to be very discreet about this, but I'll look at everybody in the building and try to be aware of everyone around me at all times. Especially if I'm in a public place or even a place that's a concert, I'll try to be aware of every person around me and try to discreetly see everybody's face. Paranoid? Yes. But I can at least do so without people noticing. And a lot of times you learn how to read a room and sort of gauge your reactions based on the people around you. Granted, I guess a lot of that would probably be described as hypervigilance, but sometimes it's also just very good when it comes to normal social situations. Like, say, if you're talking to people, whether it's friends, people you're meeting, a business situation, or even, you see a really cute girl and you knocked something over. Stuff. Or you see a really cute girl and you're, trying to be normal, trying to sound confident, trying to sound just, I don't know. Wow, I'm spacing out. But at least with that, you sort of gauge things based on another person and as far as what they feel comfortable with. One thing, though, when I'm recording is that there's nothing to really gauge it off of. There's no sort of soundboard for me to work with, and I'm just sort of in a fucking echo chamber at this point, and it's just me reacting to me. And when people say, oh, you should just be yourself, well, this is what this fucking channel is. This is the fucking rabbit hole bullshit of somebody just being them fucking selves. But it's just, in general, that'd just be kind of awkward in real life. You have to be a little mindful of the social situation. I don't know. And of course you have to be more concise with how you speak. And this is me but I'll say this, actually having to be concise with how you talk, and it's stressful. It is stressful, and I don't do these videos to feel stressed. I do it to express myself and to deal with stress. I don't know. Main thing is I really do like reading manga and anime. I like trying to be better at boxing and stuff. Granted, a lot of times I feel like I'd probably really need to focus on stretching. I enjoy music, art. I've been playing a lot of video games. Enjoy that. Of course, family, friends. Also going out places and trying to be sociable with people. Reading books, drawing, which I'm shit at drawing, by the way. I have multiple books on how to draw manga and anime, and honestly, I feel like a stick man is still better than my fucking shit. Though I have lots of books I have draw manga for, let me walk over here. Like here's a book, draw manga for expressive characters. Or fucking stretching. Or this one, the Manga Fashion Bible, the go-to guide for drawing stylish outfits and characters, by Christopher Hart. Actually, I have a couple books. There's some books over there versus different anatomy on how to draw, different things. And of course, you can find tutorial stuff on YouTube. Now, of course, I tend to do a lot of things, and of course, a lot of times, honestly, if I had to gauge what I do most of my waking hours is I go to work. Most of my waking hours is working for a fucking wage at a job I hate, where I don't have any music at all to listen to, and it's just the sounds of machines. And sometimes I have to work with coworkers who piss me off because they are rude, abrasive individuals. And a lot of times I'm just like, okay, I'm at a job, I feel like I want to go to sleep, I'm tired, I'm working third shift. And I'm like, parts of my body hurt, and I'm in pain just to fucking stand. So now I'm going to ignore that I'm in pain to do this job that requires focus and also that I'd be moving quickly, but also paying attention to everything, and ignoring the fact that just moving to do the things I'm doing is painful. But yeah, it's just like most of my time is just work. And of course, you gotta do things like sleep, and I take like 15 fucking showers a week. Heck, I've never been to an anime convention. One day I will be. But one thing I never understood is the idea that people would go to those things and smell bad. Like if you want to know what I smell like, I like the clones I wear. I wear the Azaro collection, the Azaro Wanted collection, Azzaro. It's a glass gun revolver clone. Also a bit of Mont Blanc. I can't say it. Mont Blanc. Montblanc. Red. But more heavy on the Azaro. Always a bit curious and different scents in the future, too. Now, granted, there are times in the past that I did smell a bit bad, but of course, those are situations where I couldn't avoid it. Like, if I was in the fucking woods for multiple days on end, and you're not allowed to have anything scented because there are fucking bears. Like, that time I was up in the mountains. There were actual fucking bears and fucking mountain lions and shit. You know, you weren't allowed to have anything scented. And in general, even if you do have something like a not like as dangerous camping area, you're still not getting a shower for a couple of days. But that's unavoidable. You're spending all day in a fucking 90-degree plus in the sun doing physically exertive things and building things outdoors and working with fucking nature, and you're, building campfires or actually being, in nature. Nature doesn't smell good most of the time. Or, you're working in a factory where, it's fucking hot as hell. There are things that are generating heat. You're wearing clothing that doesn't exactly breathe, and you are moving nonstop. Yes, you're going to sweat. No matter how much fucking deodorant you wear, you are going to be sweating if you are doing a job that requires physical exertion and manual labor. Especially if you're doing it for sometimes 12-hour fucking shifts. And of course, if you work in a restaurant at any point, if you're working with raw meat for hours and hours and hours at a time, that's going to have a scent to it. You can't help that. It'd be one thing if it was just like a person smells because, they just don't fucking bathe and they're a fucking gross motherfucker. It's another thing entirely if you smell bad because you spent the last 12 hours standing and moving shit or loading the back of a fucking truck. You smell because you've been fucking busting your ass, working yourself to death. Despite the fact that even from hour one, you're like, ow, my back hurts like hell, and I feel like I need a nap. And you're just like, okay, let's take some ibuprofen, let's take some caffeine, we'll fucking work through it. Of course, all that stuff, be mindful, talk to your doctors. I don't want anyone having a fucking heart attack or rupturing their fucking stomachs, okay? I want everyone to be out there to be healthy. But of course, and of course I eat a bunch of junk food and stuff, but it's just, heck, my diet tends to bounce around between eating a mix of healthy things and unhealthy things, but sometimes it's just an issue of, well, let's drink this extra bit of Mountain Dew and this caffeine to make a migraine not be so bad. Or let's eat enough calories to make sure we have the energy to move at a speed that we need to move, because, okay, if you eat responsibly, well, then you're probably not going to move at this right speed you need to move, and you're going to fuck up, or you're going to move too slow, or if you're not using enough sugar to sedate yourself, then, well, you might go off on that one person who, pissed you the fuck off. But given the fact that, you're at a job or something, well, at that point, it's okay. Kind of want to keep your job, because at the one hand, it is still how you pay bills, even if you hate it. After all, if they didn't pay you, you wouldn't fucking bother to do it in the first place. The whole reason you're there is because they fucking pay you. You don't want to be there, but, it's kind of like, oh, you're free to leave anytime you want. Yeah, but I kind of like having a place to live and food. Also, apparently, just want to play, have money to buy some video games and stuff. Heck, originally I bought this laptop, especially when I was working massive amounts of overtime, and that helped me to have the money to afford to buy a fucking laptop, so that I even could Because honestly, I wanted to do Let's Plays for a very long time, and just for a very long time, it was just completely unaffordable. There was just no chance I could. Just because I had other things I had to spend money on, and that took so much of my... And just as time went on, I worked overtime, to where I was able to have enough money to afford it. And then, of course, a bit of extra work here and there. Okay, I had some money, and I wanted, probably pouring a bit of money into Steam more than I probably should. But it's my hobby, it's my interest. It's kind of like sometimes I'll get extra books on guitar tabs. I'm kind of shit at them, especially when I try to do like multiple different types. But I enjoy it. And that's the main thing. It's just I like rambling at my computer. I like playing video games. I like fucking... And even if it's like playing a rage game like Splasher or playing Super Meat Boy or... Jubilee or Thumper, I'm screaming and cussing at those games, but I'm enjoying the game. A lot of times, if the main... I don't care how easy or how hard a game is. I care, do I get my fucking dopamine rush? Do I enjoy it? Is it keeping my attention? Am I still getting that reward center in my brain triggered? Am I feeling that tickle in my cerebellum? It's probably not even the right place of my brain. I don't know. I'm not gonna fucking bother fact-checking myself about fucking human anatomy. But, I don't know. It's... Fuck! Things keep falling over! Son of a bitch! Stop! Stay! Fuck you. Yeah, because I know I'm going to be singing NF The Search later, so I have the book out. It's a notebook paper that I wrote lyrics in. Of course, it's still kind of fucked up because parts of the lyrics are missing, so I have it connect to another page on this. But I sort of tore some of the parts out of the book so that I can move it easier, but now they're just falling to the ground. So stay... And yes, it's just propped up on a chair on my bed with another set of headphones just sort of pushed into the book to keep it from falling over. And then I keep putting my foot on the bed because it's more comfortable, and then I start changing, the shifting, and then shit starts falling. And that also just wind and fucking paper. I just have a fan over there. I'm not going to turn the fan off. I like having the fan on. I am really, really... not sure where we are in this conversation anymore. Main point I'm trying to say is this. I don't want any of you to get hurt or anything. And of course, obviously, I am a little emotionally down sometimes. But of course, that's why you have hobbies. Like playing guitar or playing drawing. It helps to deal with stuff like that. Plus, in general, is this. You shouldn't be doing something for the sake of, ooh, I'm going to be amazing at this, and somebody will say, oh, I have a guitar and I'll play really good at it, and girls will be like, wow, you're awesome at that, and then like you. Of course, don't get me wrong, I have thought about that. I have fantasized about it. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's like 99% of every guy who's ever picked up a guitar. Ever. That might be a motivation why a lot of people want to do it, but in general, I just like playing it. I know I'm not any good at it, and over time, you might get a little bit better at it, but the main thing is this. Yes, I want to be able to be better at it, but my main focus isn't to be better. It's kind of like you see those people that play violin, and they play it for hours and hours every day, and they become so amazing at it. They're so good at it, but they hate it. They become so good at it from such a massive amount of practice, but because they fucking did it so much, it's just a fucking routine to them. It's just a chore, a job to them, and they hate it. And it's just like a boring, tedious process to them that they just do because they're good at it now, but they're not enjoying it. I'd rather be shit at my fucking guitar and actually be able to fucking smile at the end of the day. It's kind of like Akuma from Street Fighter. Yes, Akuma from Street Fighter is fucking strong as fucking shit. He is the strongest. Akuma is the strongest person in a game, in a fictional world where an average fighter is able to punch through fucking concrete with no fucking problems and fire fucking fireballs and stretch their limbs like fucking Piccolo, or Blanca with the electricity, or have thighs like fucking Chun-Li, or tits like I think the Rainbow Girl, Rainbow Minx. I can't remember her name. Poison's also got some really big tits. Now I'm just thinking about jiggle physics. I would say I'm going to try not to space out, but that's actually a very hard task for me at the moment. Give me a moment. Still, try to stop thinking about that and try to focus on. Anyway, Akuma. Like Akuma in a world where people are this already like Baki strength levels, he's like the strongest person in this world. But here's the thing: what is Akuma's life? He lives in a cave and he trains. He does painful fucking dark Hadoken things that make him occasionally puke up blood, and he goes and fights people to the death. It's like, on the one hand, yes, he's fucking jacked as shit. On the other hand, does Akuma ever eat ice cream? Does he watch anime? Does he watch movies? Does he play a video game? What's his life? What about his life is fun? It's just constant training. That's one thing. At one point, I did try to train massively, which, of course, in human limits is unreasonable. Like, you can't just weightlift for 6 hours a day. I've tried that. I did not get stronger from it. I got weaker. The human body needs to be able to recuperate from weightlifting to actually get stronger. The other thing is this. Not only was I not getting stronger, and I was in a lot of pain constantly, and I was just... But in general, I was just fucking miserable. And not just because of the physical, wear and tear and exertion. It was just the fact that I didn't have time to do anything else. And of course, lots of things about doing things in moderation, having time for certain things. The main thing is getting in shape and being stronger is not meant to take over your life. It's meant to supplement it. It's meant to make your life better. And that's, at the end of the day, is this. You should do things that make your life better. And I'll say this. You want to be better at guitar? Play more guitar. But don't play it so much so that, you hate it. Don't force yourself to do it, but of course you're not going to get better unless you do it. But it's got to be that line between, you got to have hard work, but you got to still have fun. You still got to enjoy it. It's still got to be a purpose for you. Because like I said, I work plenty hard at my fucking job. I hate it. I hate it so much. But I don't do it because I enjoy it. I do it because it's a fucking paycheck. Whereas the guitar, there's no possible monetary incentive. There's nothing I can fucking gain. There's no situation where it's going to gain me anything other than just being able to sit and chill, playing the same riff over and over 20 minutes straight, and just sort of vibing to it. And just having fun. Or just seeing okay, you drew another person, but, that person's wrist looks dislocated. I'm like, okay. Though some people have noticed that, because I did show a couple people some early drawings I did, and they're like, on the one hand, it's like, why did you draw her so curvy? And I'm like, and then before I can even finish that, they're like, also, why are their thighs that fucking thick? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, also, why is this person's wrist just drawn like it's fucking dislocated? I'm like, what? And I'm looking at the wrist like, fuck. It's like the way I drew it, human anatomy doesn't work that way. Then again, they could also say the thing about how I drew the titties and the ass. But that was just like, they're also like, well, why is the character's nipples hard? I'm like, and I was like, well, they're wearing a shirt, yes, but you drew their nipples so fucking hard that's visible through the fucking shirt. And it's not like a thin shirt. I drew a fucking full ass fucking, mobile shirts and jackets, and still I drew where their nipples are so fucking hard that you can still see it through everything. And they're like, yeah, how is that? It's just like, can't really justify, okay. And it's not like the person's naked, but it's like, it's very noticeably lewd. And they're like, also, it's like you combine two different hairstyles. And I'm like, I thought it looked cool. And they're like, it looks weird. I'm like, But the biggest thing is when you draw things and it's like, yeah, they were like, yeah, that's not how the human anatomy works. It's like fuck. I'm not sure what I'm talking about anymore. I'm sorry. Main thing I'm trying to say is this, no matter what's going on, especially like for me, I just enjoy it's a way of expressing myself. Though generally, this channel is predominantly it's meant to be a Let's Play channel with a focus on comedy. But a lot of these videos are me just doing whatever random bullshit pops into my head. And I just like, oh, I want to do that. I want to try to sing that song. I want to play that game. I want to read this book. I want to do that. I want to do that. And a lot of times there's lack of time. And well, even then, even if I had all the time in the world and didn't have to work, what would I do? Okay, I'm going to spend an hour doing karate here. Now I'm going to try to bench press for a while. And now I'm going to play guitar. And now I'm going to draw. And now I'm going to try to beat this, Dark Souls game. And of course, sometimes I like to just lay in bed and listen to ASMR. Or, actually try to fucking sleep. Even though apparently I suck at that. And of course, sometimes I just focus on downtime things with other human beings. Because it's not really about doing anything productive. It's about, just spending time with people you care about. And not taking people that mean a lot to you for granted. And, a book's always going to be there to read later. A video game's always going to be there to play later. But if a person's actually available to spend time with, as long as that person respects you and is kind to you and actually values your company, then yeah, you should definitely do the same and spend as much time with them, try to have fun, value their company. But of course, no matter how things are, if the person isn't, respecting you, if they're treating you badly, especially if they're being abusive to you, but more importantly, if they don't value you, they don't really care, then don't bother spending time with them. But it's still you shouldn't let that get you too jaded in regard to the way all people are, because not all people are going to be like that, but of course there are lots of people out there. That's the same thing when you talk about yourself to people. It's good to be able to open up to people, but you have to be careful about who you open up to, because some people not only will not care about you at all, but they'll actually actively use that against you as a way oh, okay, this person opened up about one thing they care, and then they'll start yelling at you about that sort of stuff, and they'll know that, okay, you're insecure about that, and they'll try to, pick apart at you for that. So, a lot of people out there that you would consider talking about your vulnerabilities with are actually the people that would most want to actually hurt you, people that want to see you fall or get hurt. But of course, part of life is just navigating that. You don't want to be too naive, but you don't want to be too paranoid either. So you got to find that balance. And honestly, I might not be the best person to describe a healthy balance when it comes to that, but I can at least be somebody that can accurately tell you that such a balance is important. But it's one of those things of preaching something that you can't really practice very well yourself. It's like saying, okay, you shouldn't. It's like you got to have a proper balance, but I know I'm shit at it. But that's part of the thing, where you struggle at and what you need to improve. But like I want all of you, if possible, to go to the gym. And now, granted, you have concerns about your health, talk to a doctor. Of course, there's usually probably gym trainers you can talk to as well. But even if it's just one push-up, do that one push-up. I want all of you, everyone's at different levels, but I want everyone to try to be as healthy as possible. I want you to be as strong as possible. I want you guys to be as flexible as possible. I want you to have good cardio health. I want you to be able to jog and run and jump rope and skip to the loo and have fun. And I want you to be able to actually be able to defend yourselves if you get into a fight. But of course, you shouldn't go looking for a fight. You should try to avoid it. And in general, everybody, I would like it if everyone was more polite to each other. But of course, that's not how the world works at all. I don't know. I'm a terrible motivational speaker. It's like if Matt Foley were depressed. And that's another thing. If anyone out there is depressed, like I said, I don't want anyone to fucking pity me or any shit like that. I just want to know if other people feel the same. It's like there's sometimes I'll see people in messages talking about how they really haven't had affection in a very long time. I'm like, hey, I don't remember what hugs feel like. Because I just want to, hey, it's like, yeah, this is seems to be getting a common thing. And it's nice to be able to talk to people and sort of relate to each other back and forth. It's just, apparently, everyone's got their own unique stories, whether it's some people just are self-isolating, if it were. I don't know what better way to describe certain things, but some people just sort of, I don't know, have negative situations and they sort of just withdraw from other people. So, and it's just, it can be hard to sort of put yourself back out there and be interactive with a society that a lot of times you expect more of a negative reaction than a positive one, even if you just exist and don't even do anything, let alone if you were to do something that somehow were to bother anyone. But I don't know how to describe things, but I'm just saying, I imagine other people probably feel the same way. And other than just a morbid curiosity to know if other people really do feel the same way I feel, it's more so for them to know, one, obviously there are things out there to help people, and of course, you should always try to talk to your family and friends, and if you don't have that, then, well, just don't give up. I mean, just keep going, keep trying. I mean, the most important thing you can do is just get through each day. I mean, at the end of the day, even if you cry yourself to sleep in the bed that day, and even if you, like, lay in bed listening to some Nightcore stuff, crying, I mean, hey, expressing that emotion's still good for you. Being able to experience melancholy can help you have more empathy and compassion for others. It can help you to understand how other people feel. Plus, you can't just keep things bottled up. And you got to have a safe environment to let out. And of course, that stuff will release endorphins, which is good for your brain. But it's just, the important thing is you got to do what's healthy for you, to take best care of yourself. And even if it is just, you sort of just weighing the collateral, sort of running damage control from day to day, saying, okay, this day is going to be shit, but I can at least minimize, the fallout of everything that goes fucking wrong. But like I said, sometimes it's just very hard to, like, if you feel perfectionist about stuff, you'll be like, okay, I want to do something better. Like, okay, if it's not going to be perfect, I'm not going to do it. Well, I'll say this. If I didn't do shit because it wasn't perfect, I would never post a single fucking video ever. I know that, honestly, I feel like I'm a fucking failure at everything I fucking do. And every time I try to do something, I feel like the harder I try, the more I fuck up. And I feel like, okay, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that. And I know, like, okay, I failed at this, I did fuck at that. But it doesn't matter. That's the way you get better at stuff. And you can't just be like, I'm not going to try because it's not going to be perfect. Heck, you're never going to be perfect. And heck, you may never even be good. But the only way you ever could be good is if you keep trying. Because I'll tell you this. I mean, yeah, you could think that you're amazing and keep trying all the time, and you're probably going to fail most of the time, but you're at least going to succeed some of the time. And you're still going to improve. But if you don't try at all, well, then you'll never succeed at all, and you'll never improve in any way. But the main thing is I just want to be very careful that no one tries too hard at the gym. I don't want anyone to get hurt. And of course, like I said, whether it's, lifting weights or getting stronger or martial arts, it's not meant to, same thing with guitar or drawing or that, it's not meant to take over your life. It's meant to supplement it. It's meant to be something to enrich your life, to make it better, to make it more fulfilling. And at the end of the day, it might not make you feel happy sometimes. Sometimes it will. I mean, happiness is not how you're meant to feel all the time. Now, granted, you should feel more happy than you should feel sad, and the degree of how happy should be a lot greater than what your degree of sad is, and the frequency of happy should be a lot greater than with the sad. But there's nothing wrong with feeling sad sometimes. And if you feel sad more times, then, well, you can usually do what you can to deal with it, and if not, then the best thing you can do is just get through from day to day and it'll eventually get better. Though a lot of times it'll probably feel like it never will. It'll feel like it's gonna keep spiraling downhill. And a lot of times you're gonna feel like, heck, you can listen to lots of videos on YouTube, people doing positive affirmations and stuff like that, or just a lot of times I'd say there's a lot of people out there who, and me included, by the way, who just feel very affection starved. And heck, a lot of catgirl ASMRs help with that. Granted, some are wholesome, some are very lewd. I enjoy both, but both are necessary. Both are healthy. Granted, it's better to pursue human interactions, but of course, sometimes it's just more feasible that way. Which, you could still have better luck with human interaction in the future, but if you need a little bit of affection to actually feel that somebody fucking cares about you, well, if it gets you through the day, it helps you feel better, and helps you actually have the self-esteem to fucking go to the gym, to try to mess with the fucking lateral pull-down fucking machine, and hop on that fucking treadmill, even if your knees are already hurting. If it gets you to fucking try to deadlift maybe even just 10 pounds more than your previous max, at the end of the day, if it's helping you to push, and even then, a lot of times you're like, well, what's the point of going to the gym? You feel like you're not seeing any results. And honestly, I can't really say, but it's just, all I know is, no matter what, I want to keep trying. Even if I feel like I keep failing at everything I do. Even if I feel like I'm making no progress. Even if sometimes it feels like the times I'm lifting weights, that I'm lifting those dumbbells, that I'm moving those machines, that I'm fucking trying to shove that fucking sled. It's a fucking sled. Those things where you put the fucking weights down horizontally and you shove it across the ground. Like, even if I feel like it's doing nothing, even if it feels like I'm not making any progress at all, even if it feels like all I'm doing is just wasting my time, I'm still going to keep lifting those weights. I'm still going to keep trying. Like I said, I do want to get stronger. But, just because you don't get the kind of progress you want doesn't mean you should either overdo it and injure yourself, do something stupid and injure yourself, or give up. Now, of course, you have to be able to recover. And, of course, something like that, you should definitely talk to your doctor or physical trainers or people who have better luck at, being athletic. But, of course, keep in mind, some people are genetically more gifted than others. But no matter how gifted you might be or how ungifted, you have to actually still train. Because even the most athletic, strong person in the world, they still had to, work out and put in that hard work and effort. And what I'm saying to all of you is I want all of you to put in that hard work and effort too. And even if it seems like you're not accomplishing anything, even if it seems like you just keep failing, I want you to keep trying. I don't want you to give up. But of course, if you are getting a lot of failure, it also might be a good idea to rethink your approach. As far as there's something wrong with your diet, maybe you should try a different exercise. Are you allowing proper recovery? And like I said, each person's body is different, and a lot of times there are professionals out there, whether in the medical field or in the physical fitness field, that may be able to help you reach the goals that you want. But the main thing is I just want you guys to try. And it doesn't have to be major. Like, I don't expect you guys to be perfect. I don't expect you guys to be successes, but I want you to be. But at the end of the day is this. As long as you're doing your best, that's all that matters. Just keep trying. And heck, even if you have a bad day where, for whatever reason, whether it's a bad day and just how you're doing emotionally, or a bad day health, or a bad day, as far as just not being able to lift as much, you at least still tried. You at least got through it. You at least did your best. You at least tried. So, I'm not going to say you guys are going to magically fucking succeed at your goals. That's just not how life works. Heck, I think it was Star Trek that wound up fucking saying that it's perfectly possible to do everything right and to try your absolute best and still fail. But there's no chance of succeeding if you don't at least try. And like I said, like, take guitar. I'm shit at guitar. I am horrible at it. But I just enjoy playing it. So that's the most important thing you should be doing. You should be playing an instrument to enjoy it, to like doing it. And granted, I may have a bit of an addictive personality where I want to, like, if I'm doing something I enjoy, like especially like Let's Plays, I want to keep doing them. I enjoy rambling on my computer, and I like recording the videos, and I like playing the games. It's just so, of course, I do a lot of it because I like it. I like rambling at my computer. And a lot of times it's just a way of expression for me, especially a lot of times I'll go long periods of time where, in general in life, I'm a very stoic individual. I won't really express emotions out there in public, but of course, I have those. I do have emotions. I do feel, lots of fear and anger and sadness and sometimes outright dread, sometimes very severe depression, some days very bad. But the main thing is that, one, a lot of times, some of you out there might have people to talk to, whether it's family, friends, or even then, if not, a lot of times, it seems a lot of people are just reaching out on the internet. And me, it's nice to be able to talk and nice to be able to just vent how I feel and just say whatever random bullshit thing pops in my head, because a lot of times I don't really express things, and a lot of times I don't really, especially at work, I don't really have time to really talk. I'm working, and heck, there are sometimes, especially if you don't count me pacing around my living room talking to myself, or talking to an inanimate object, or talking to an animal, or talking to my reflection, there might have been times where I may have gone weeks without talking to anyone. And it's just, I would say prolonged isolation is probably not good for a human mind, but it's sometimes an unavoidable part of life, especially as being an adult. It's just life as an adult. Sometimes you feel either you have to work all the time and you don't have time to be social, and then even when you do have time for social, there's especially when the whole pandemic thing happened, how do you go out and talk to people when, technically we're all under fucking lockdown back when that was going on? I'm like, well, I was already having trouble with that. And heck, at one point when the whole pandemic thing started, before they made the masks mandatory, which is not anymore, but of course there's some areas like hospitals where you still absolutely should, and of course case-by-case basis, use common sense. But when the whole first thing, the pandemic started, I was still trying to, talk to women very actively then, still failing immeasurably. That's not changed. But the main thing is that, before the whole masks became absolutely mandatory, I didn't want to wear the mask, because even though I do feel that I'm very ugly and hideous to look at, and very unattractive, to where I feel like people probably barf in their mouths when they see me. Maybe a bit very negative self-esteem, maybe not completely accurate about real life, but it is kind of how I feel. Also, a very measured response to lots of very negative feedback. Gonna stop being depressed about that and try to continue talking. Heck, I think that one good way to put it is this. I imagine I'm a fucking eldritch god. Someone's like, it's like, what? I'm fucking Cthulhu, okay? I'm a fucking terrifying ancient beast from the beginning of time. That I'm an aberration. Staring into my face will drive you mad. And that's the thing I was saying earlier. A lot of people feel invisible. It's either you feel invisible, or you feel that if people do notice you, it's not for the right reasons, it's not for good reasons. To where, when they do notice you, you feel like when people do notice you, you wish you were invisible again. Because either one, they look at you like you're disgusting. They look at you like you're filthy, or you're beneath them, or that you're worthless, or that you're just an example of somebody who's a failure in life, of what not to be. That people look at you like, okay, yeah, that person's weak, that person failed, that person's not a success, that person's a loser. That That person's beneath me. That person's at a lower caste, lower social ranking, lower class. That person's too poor. Oh, they don't have the right clothes. They're a little bit too overweight. They don't have enough muscles. They're not strong enough. They're not confident enough. But more so the point is, like, in general, you either feel that you're invisible, or you feel that people look at you like you're disgusting, or that you're something to be pitied, or something to be ashamed of, or someone to be like, oh, I should avoid that person. Something to be reviled, like you're a fucking outcast. Like just talking to you would lower their value in the world. That just being seen with you would make them have less of their own self-worth. That just your existence, just you breathing is such an inconvenience that it's just, especially whenever you end up in a situation where people have actively attempted to hurt you and you can see people around you just smiling, enjoying the thought, just seeing you get hurt, and they're enjoying that you're getting hurt, and they're enjoying the thought that, hey, it'd be kind of cool if he dies. And that's not really an over exaggeration of things. Granted, a lot of those more extreme situations are in the past, but still doesn't change how you feel about it. It's just, either people just look at you like you don't even exist, like you don't even matter, or that just your existence is an inconvenience, or they look at you with hatred, or they look at you with disgust, or even then there's the times where people take notice of you and they just decide you're weaker than them, so you make a good target. Or that they want to see someone suffer, and well, you're the most viable person to hurt, so why not you? And so it's like your choices are, okay, I can be invisible, or I can have everyone hate me. I can have everyone look at me like I'm disgusting. Which I really can't blame them, because, I mean, they're not wrong. But or, of course, you have the people who look at you with the intention of hurting you. At which point, those interactions are just not just painful physically and emotionally, but you learn to be afraid of that sort of thing. To appreciate being invisible instead. That it's better to be invisible and unnoticed than have somebody notice you and want to hurt you. Like I'm a fucking rabbit, and I'm hoping to be invisible so the fucking wolf doesn't see me and gobble me up. Which at least that's a less frequent thing. More often than not, that if somebody doesn't see you as invisible, they just see you as disgusting or just a worthless failure loser. You know, you don't have any value, you're not a success anything. I mean, heck, you're not strong, you're not rich, you don't have any skills, you know, you have no status, you're not special, you're not gifted, you're not talented, you're not really super smart. Heck, I was smarter when I was a fucking teenager. But of course, I've had numerous fucking fevers for multiple things. Heck, I've had at least a fever of 106, at least like a dozen times. Once like 107. I've had, I don't even know how many fucking concussions. I've been hit in the head with just about so many fucking hard objects. Metal, rock, bricks, bats, an axe. At least that didn't leave a scar, though I left a scar on that person, which I really didn't have a malicious thought. It's just the person was hitting me, so I grabbed out of their hand and hit them back, and then they ran away. So, but hey, the doctor stitched them back up, so that's fine, I guess. I was just wanted the person to leave me alone, and granted, I was really young back then, too. Heck, I don't even think I counted as a teenager back then. And just... I don't know what the moral of the story is. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just saying there's probably a lot of people that probably feel the same way I do. So, it's not like I can say anything uplifting. It's not like I can say anything... Because honestly, I don't know what... what I could actually say that would make it better in any way. Because if I did, I'd be saying it to myself all the time. But I just draw a blank, so I don't actually know. But I am kind of hopeful that if other people feel the same as me, they'll at least see that, hey, I keep going no matter what, so you guys should too. I mean, there's nothing special of me. I'm just a fucking dude. There's nothing unique about me. There's nothing special about me. There's really nothing any worthwhile about me. But I continue on from day to day, make the most of everything, and just sort of, I enjoy the things that I enjoy, even though sometimes my emotions do seem to bounce around a bit between being a bit more excessively down, and sometimes I'll feel like I'm in a constant fucking panic attack, or I'll feel overwhelmed, or that everything's just sort of like everything's too loud. Everything's just... And sometimes I'll feel just so anxious, so nervous, and sometimes I'll just feel like I can't feel anything. Sometimes I'll go into feeling numb and apathetic to where I feel like I can't really care about anything. Like I don't care. I can't feel, and nothing would garner a reaction at all. But then give a few days and I'm back to feeling overly sensitive about every thought that I'm basically screaming at myself in 1,000 different voices in my head, yelling at myself, screaming at myself, cussing at myself, repeating back lots of very bad things to myself in my head. Almost like on a loop, and it's just multiple loop after loop. Like you got fucking those old vinyl record players, but you're like walking into a room with like 40 of them, and all of them are sort of stuck on repeat. And I can't really offer any good advice to anyone. Like, I can't say there's really anything I've done that's been a success or been really any sort of magical fix, because there isn't. Like, it was going to the gym. I mean, it's like going to the gym's not going to be a magical fix. It's not going to fix everything. Even if you could fucking, make all the progress you want in the world. But it'll help. Even if it's just go to the gym for half hour, do some bench press. Even if you're not lifting nearly as much as everyone else. You're not trying to outlift everyone else. You're trying to outlift yourself. And of course, like I said, the most important thing is you don't want to get hurt. you don't want to injure yourself. But you are going there to work. You're going to push yourself to get that effort in. Because I'll say this. Leisure is important. Rest is important. But the most fulfilling thing you're ever going to fucking do in your life is going to be from hard work. It's going to be from pushing yourself. For trying stuff that you feel like you can't possibly fucking achieve. Or you feel like it's so fucking hard. Like you can play a song guitar like, say, BYOB from System Down. Where like the fucking picking on that is so fucking fast. But when you do eventually manage to be able to fucking play that song, you're gonna remember back on all those hours you spent fucking up, where you kept just struggling on that same fucking riff over and over, and you couldn't play for more than 2 fucking seconds without just it being an unintelligible mess. And because you fucking worked so hard at it and you eventually succeeded, you're gonna feel proud of that. And like I said, if you do mobile songs and all that, you may not be very good at some of them, but the main thing is you're at least enjoying playing. You're at least able to go through it and play it, put different effects on it. Like, hey, what if I add a little bit more flange on this? What if I put a little more distortion here on this one riff? And you're just sort of just playing with it. Or if you try messing with scales and you're like, well, let's just try to mess around with some stuff with the bebop scale or with, the double harmonic scale, Or you try using some diminished sevenths here and there. It might not sound very good. It may sound very unoriginal, non-creative, and a bit boring and very sloppily played. But you're at least trying. You are at least applying yourself. Because like I said, you do have to put in hard work. But at the same time, you have to do it, at least brings whatever fulfillment to your life. And you do want to be happy, but you're not meant to feel happy all the time, but you should feel happy more than you feel sad. It's just I don't know, if other people out there feel the same as I do, they at least know, hey, there's me and then there's other people that we all feel the same. And like I said, this manga from it's called Holy Land. It's really good manga. I haven't actually fully read it in a long time, but it's really good manga. I strongly suggest it. Granted, there's some parts in it where things are a bit contrived. Hold on. Damn. Fuck. Okay, I'm back. But yeah, and like I said, that's a lot of thing with a lot of stories. Sometimes the writing can feel a little contrived in a few parts. And of course, no matter what is a story, it's not real life. But yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm just saying, like I said, I don't really expect anyone. Here's the thing. I'm never really going to be a success. I'm never really going to be anything good at anything. But I'm still going to keep trying. So, granted, I hope a lot of you out there might have more success than I do. I really hope you do. Whether it's playing an instrument or trying to start your own business or be a good artist or a musician or program something on a computer. I want you to succeed. If there's something out there that will make you happy in life, I want you to be able to attain it. Now, if it is hard for you to do that, I still want you to keep trying no matter how hard it is. But just gotta do what's best for you. So, I really don't know what else to say. I don't know. I don't think I really have said anything. It's just been an hour and a half of me rambling. I'm just talking out of my ass. But it's just not really sure what to say. I'm just saying I want you all to be able to be happy, and I want all of you to work hard. I want all of you to be physically in shape if you can. Granted, like I said, I feel very negative about my own health in regard to I have more fat on me than I would like. I have less muscle than I would like. I'm not as strong as I would like to be. But I'm trying to work on that. But of course, I'm not going to fucking dedicate myself full on Akuma style, because at the end of the day, I would be miserable. Like, if I had a choice between being physically fit, but in order to be completely physically fit, I would have to give up watching anime. I would not give up watching anime. Because I enjoy it. So, like, yes, I'm going to work hard to try to get stronger, but I'm not going to be miserable because of it. I mean, I want to be able to get stronger and be able to be healthier and happier for it. So, obviously, if you're not hitting your goal, you shouldn't hate yourself and beat yourself up for it. But you shouldn't give up either. You should keep trying. Like I said, even if it's just a little bit. If you can make some small improvement, then that's a success. And then every small improvement, just keep going, just keep pushing. Though, honestly, I'll say this a lot of times in life, and a lot of you probably feel the same way. It just sometimes feels meaningless. Sometimes feels like you're not accomplishing anything. Sometimes it feels like that even bothering to try in the first place was a mistake, and that it was just, you just failed, you just fucked up, that you didn't accomplish anything. Okay, I'm fine. I just was wondering why part of my pillow was looking super shiny. It's not. I was just imagining that. Okay. The fuck was I talking about? Shit. I got distracted by imaginary shiny objects. What am I, a fucking raccoon? But, like I said, I just want you guys to keep trying. Be the best that you can be. If you can get stronger, lift a heavier weight, be able to run further, run faster, be able to throw a better, 1-2 combination, or a better left hook, or a better right cross. You actually can do, anything better, that's cool, even if it's not as good as you like. I mean, you have to keep working. Alright, I was talking about earlier how I played Minecraft for everyone else. Back before I had access to any kind of punching bag in any way whatsoever, so what I would do is I would take my camping pad, because I was in Boy Scouts, and that little foam pad and some bungee cords, and I would go into the woods, and I'd find one of the skinnier trees, and I would wrap the foam camping pad around the tree and hold it in place with bungee cords, and then I would punch the tree. I would still actually cut open my knuckles doing that. Because apparently even if you wrap it in foam, one, there's still friction for your skin rubbing against it. That's part of the reason why you're supposed to have boxing wraps inside of boxing gloves, and me, I was just punching bare fucking skin into a fucking Boy Scout camping pad that I bungee cord around a fucking tree. So, also, even if it's not a very massive tree, things you punch are supposed to have a little bit of fucking give to them. Otherwise, it tends to hurt your joints a bit because there's not any... It's kind of like this. When you have a punch, you don't want to punch something super hard because, you got to have some amount of where the force to go. It's got to have some give or else your joints are going to fucking hate you for it. Same way, you don't want to just... Like, if you're doing shadow boxing, you don't want to punch super hard when you're shadow boxing because that makes it very easy to hyperextend your elbow. And that's also bad. I'm just saying, maybe... if you're going to pursue that sort of stuff, you should actually, talk to someone who's actually a fighter and actually good at fighting and actually spent years training and maybe got a proper, training regimen and not just, I watched some anime. I'm going to be stronger, stand up for myself, and all that shit by going into the fucking woods and punching a fucking tree. I also tried kicking at some too. My shins hated me for that. I would never be able to be a good Muay Thai fighter. Especially anytime I missed that fucking pad. Oh my god, it was just me on the fucking ground holding my fucking chin like, oh my god, it hurts. Fuck. God damn it. But yeah, just don't punch trees. It's not a good idea. Even if you wrap it with a camping pad that you normally should use under your sleeping bag. It's still not a good punching bag. Nor should you try to hold dumbbells in your hand and punch shadowboxing with full force. That really does not help either. It's not very effective practice. And of course, sparring is a good idea, but you want to be careful not to hurt your sparring partner or be hurt. Basically, treat it as training. Don't fucking be a dick about it. And of course, some people you might train with also might do that too. So just be careful. Be careful who you train with, and be careful when you train with those people too. You try to have mutual respect. So if you're going to train with somebody, have somebody that actually wants your best interest, but you should also have their best interest in mind too. I don't know. Mainly I'm saying is, punching trees was not a good idea, but it is an idea I had, and I tried a lot. Heck, at one point I would try to go to local parks when they were like 4 in the morning, and I'd wrap the camping pad. Stop falling over, papers! And I would try to wrap the camping pad. Make me regret tearing the papers. I'm watching you, notebook paper. And now I'm hiccuping. Why am I hiccuping? If I would go to these parks early in the morning, I would wrap the foam pad around, I would try to use the monkey bars or pull-ups and stuff. And like those things hooked to swing sets and stuff, I would try to wrapping the pad around that and punching that. Sometimes at weird angles. It was not effective. And honestly, there were a couple times cops noticed me and they were not pleased with that. Then again, I've been pulled over by cops before where they thought I was a drug dealer, but that was a different situation. They searched my car. They thought I was selling drugs and guns. They searched my car and found 2 liters of Dr. Pepper and some Volcano burritos from Taco Bell. So, yeah. Though they searched my car for like half hour plus. They were convinced I was like a drug dealer or some shit. It's like, no, I just like Taco Bell. I miss Volcano burritos. They need to bring those back. Taco Bell, bring back the Volcano burritos. Those were good. They were tasty. I liked them. They're a bit spicy, but they were just the right amount of spicy. Okay, we're off topic. I don't even know what the topic is. Okay, I am very confused. I don't know what the fuck we've been talking about. It's been over an hour and a half, and I've just been rambling my ass off. So, let's do these songs. I got my phone over here, so pull the lyrics up for this. Wow, a lot more time's gone by than I thought. Okay. This song's going to start off pretty much instantly. From top to the bottom, bottom to top, I stop. The core, I forgot, in the middle of my thoughts. And gone up my safety, pictures there. Escape me, why should I care? From top to the bottom to top, I stop. The core, I forgot, in the middle of my thoughts. Take off my safety, the pictures there. The memory won't escape me, but why should I care? There's a place so dark, you can't see the end. Skies cocked back and shocked, can't defend. Rain sends dripping acidic questions forcefully, however, suggestion. Then with the eyes shut, look. The rust and rot, dust, a small spot of light floods the floor, pours over a thing of rust to a world pretend. The eyes ease open and then they're dark again. From the top to the bottom to top, I stop. The core I've forgotten, the middle of my thoughts. Too far from the safety, the picture's there. The memory will escape me, but why should I care? In the memory you'll find me. Eyes burning up. The darkness holding me tightly. until the sun rises up. Moving around, screaming all the ups and downs, pollution manifesting in perpetual sound. Wheels go round, sunset, crude line, street lamps, chain link and concrete. A little piece of paper with a picture drawn floats down the street till the wind is gone. The memory now, the picture was then. The paper's crumbled up and it can't be perfect again. From the top to the bottom, the top I stop. The core I forgot, the middle of my thoughts, taken far from the safety. Pictures there, memory won't escape me, but why should I care? From the top to the bottom to top I stop. The core I've forgotten, in the middle of my thoughts, far from the safety. Pictures there, the memories escape me, but why should I care? In the memory you'll find me, eyes burning up, the darkness holding me tightly until the sun rises up. Not in the act, you bring back the thought back. Now you not see right through you. Now you got me caught in the act. You bring the thought back, telling you that I see right through you. Now you got me caught in the act. Bring the thought right back, telling you that I see right through you. Now you got me caught in the act. Bring the thought back, telling you that I see right through you. Now you got me caught in the act. Bring the thought back, telling you that I see right through you. Now you got me caught in the act. Bring the thought back, telling you that I see right through you. Now you got me caught in the act. I see right through you. In the memory you'll find me, eyes burning up, the darkness holding me tightly until the sun rises up. In the memory you will find me, eyes burning up, the darkness holding me tightly until the sun rises up. Unskippable ads for underwear. Okay, maybe I'll buy those. Lunar Solar commercial, now we'll buy shit. You have failed the will save. You must now buy commercial shit. I've lied to you, same way that I'll always do. This is the last smile that I'll fake for the sake of being with. Everything falls apart, even the people who never frown eventually break down. Sacrifice of hiding in everything then and find no time to watch it all unwind. Sacrifices, never knowing why I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see you're testing me, pushes me away. Why I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see you're testing me, pushes me away. I've tried, like you, to do everything you wanted to. This is the last time I'll take the blame for the sake of being with. Everything falls apart, even the people who never frown eventually break down. Sacrifice of hiding in everything has to end, so fine. Out of time to watch it all unwind. Sacrifices, never knowing why I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see you're testing me, pushes me away. Why I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see you're testing me, pushes me away. the time, that's how time it all unwinds. The sacrifice of hiding in we're all out of time. This is how we find how it all unwinds. The sacrifice is never knowing why I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see you're testing me, pushes me away. I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see you're testing me, pushes me away. Hey, pushes me away. They really hold the notes for very long. I still think it would be really cool to hear Till Lindemann sing some songs from Linkin Park. Or, the Pokemon theme song. That'd be cool, too. And we're just going to live in this unskippable ad for a moment. Still going. Okay? Okay. My back. I am a little bit of loneliness, a little bit of disregard, handful of complaints, but I can't help the fact that everyone can see these scars. I am what I want you to want, what I want you to feel. But it's not like no matter what I do, I can't convince you to just believe this is real. So I let go watching you, turn back, always do. Face away, pretend that I'm not, but I'll be here cause you're all that I got. I can't feel the way I did before. Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. Time won't heal this damage anymore. Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. I am a little bit insecure, a little unconfident, cause you don't understand, I do what I can, but sometimes I don't make sense. I am what you never want to say, but I've never had a doubt. It's not like no matter what I do, I can't convince you for just once to hear me out. So I let go watching you, turn back like you'll always do, face away and pretend that I'm not, but I'll be here cause you're all that I got. I can feel the way I did before. Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. Time won't take this damage anymore. Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. Oh, hear me out now. You're gonna listen to me like it or not. Right now. Hear me out now. You're gonna listen to me like it or not. Right now, I can't feel the way I did before. Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. I can't feel the way I did before. Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. Time won't take this damage anymore. Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. I can't feel. Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. Time won't take. Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. I definitely can't hold those notes the way they do. More unskippable ads. The unskippening. Don't even know what this commercial for. What is happening? What is your algorithm, YouTube? Hey Nate, how's life? I don't know, it's alright. I've been dealing with some things like every human being and really didn't sleep much last night. I'm sorry, that's fine. I just take a little free time. A little break from the shows and the bus rides. Last year I had a breakdown. Thoughts telling me I'm lost, getting too loud. Had to see a therapist, then I found out something's funny going on up in my house. Yeah, I started thinking maybe I should move out. Pack my heart a new route. Clean up my yard, get the noose out. Hang up my heart, let it air out. I've been searching. What does that mean, Nate? I've been learning, grabbing my keepsakes, leaving my burdens. Well, I brought a few with me. I'm not perfect. Looking at the view like this concerns me. Picking up the cues right. I'm quite nervous. Hating when I lose sight. Life gets blurry and things like hurt me. Really gonna be a long journey, but hey, it's worth it though. Cold world out there, kids. Grab your coats. Been a minute, I know. Now I'm back to roam, looking for the antidote to crack the code. Pretty vivid, I admit it. I'm in classic mode. No pity given to me, but I can't condone. Around to me, I'm cracking nose. You're cracking jokes. I'm looking for the map to hope. You seen it? Been making a whole lot of changes. Wrote a song about that. You should play it. I get scared when I walk in these stages. I look at the crowd and see so many faces. Yeah, that's when I start to get anxious. That's when my thoughts can be dangerous. That's when I put on my makeup and drown in self-hatred, forget what I'm saying, and where'd the beat go? Oh, ain't that something? Drums came in, you ain't see that coming. Hands on my head, can't tell me nothing. Got a taste of fame, had to pump my stomach. Throw it back up like I don't want it. Wipe my face, clean up my vomit. OCD trying to push my buttons. I said don't touch it, now y'all done it. I can be critical, never typical. Intricate with every syllable, I'm a criminal. Intimate but never political, pretty visual. Even if you hate it, I'll make you feel like you're in it. You call me what you want, but never call me forgettable. Leave it deep in thought, I can never swim in the kiddie pool. Way I've been thinking is cinematic, it's beautiful. Man, I don't know if I'm making music or moving videos. Yeah, sales can rise. Doesn't mean much, though, when your health declines. See, we all got something that we trapped inside. We try to suffocate, hoping it dies. Try to hold it underwater, but it always survives. Then it comes out of nowhere like an evil surprise. Then it hovers over to you, tell you millions of lies. You don't relate to that? Must not be as crazy I am. The point I'm making, the mind is a powerful place. Where you feed it can affect you in a powerful way. It's pretty cool, right? Yeah, but it's not always safe. Just hang with me. This will only take a moment, okay? Just think about it for a second. You look at your face every day when you get up and think you'll never be great. You'll never be great. Not because you're not, but the hate will always find a way to cut you up and murder your faith. Ooh! I'm developing. Take a look at the benefits. Nothing to meddle with. I can never be delicate. Never relevant. Depends on how you measure. Give me evidence. Pretty evident. Dependable can never be tentative. I'm a gentleman. Depend on if I think you're genuine. Pretty elegant, but not afraid to tell you to get a good, proper etiquette. Keep it to myself when I tell you. It's that time again. Better grab your balloons and your friends. See belts back on. Yeah, strap man. Look at me, everybody. I'm smiling big on a road right now that I can't predict. Tell me tone that down, but I can't resist. You know that sound. Better raise your fist. Search begins. I'm back to enjoy the trip. Like the biggest part of like when you are talking that quickly, it's like spit and saliva just builds up in your fucking mouth. It's like, when do I breathe, let alone swallow? Okay. You know what? Let's talk about till then a minute. How about that? There we go. Nun, liebe Kinder, gebt fein Acht. Ich bin die Stimme aus dem Kissen. Ich hab euch etwas mitgebracht. Hab es aus meiner Brust gerissen. Mit diesem Herz hab ich die Macht, die Augenlider zu pressen. Es sind bis der Tag erwacht, ein heller Schein im Firmament, mein Herz brennt. I'm not sure if you can hear me headbanging. Probably not. And if you can, that might be a concern. Maybe I should just try to crack my neck. Ow. Sie kommen zu euch in der Nacht. Dämonen, Geister, Josephine. Sie kreischen aus dem Kellerschacht. Und werde unter euer Bettzeug sehen. Nun, liebe Kinder, gebt fein Acht. Ich bin dem Stimme aus dem Kissen. Ich hab euch etwas mitgebracht. Ein heller Schein im Firmament. Mein Herz brennt. Mein Herz brennt. Mein. Sie kommen zu euch in der Nacht und stellen eure kleine Hasen Tränen. Sie warten, bis der Mond wacht und drücken sie in meine kalten Venen. Nun, liebe Kinder, gebt fein Acht. Ich bin die Stimme aus dem Käse. Es ist bis der Tag erwacht. Ein heller Schein im Firmament. Mein Herz brennt. 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 More unskippable ads. But this should be the last one. This will be the last thing I sing, and then I'll probably end the video. But I hope all of you have a wonderful day. And all of you are awesome, by the way. I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em, it's you and me. I know it's my destiny. Pokemon, oh, you're my best friend in a world we must defend. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em, oh, it's so true. Our courage will pull us through. You teach me and I'll teach you. Pokemon, catch 'em all, gotta catch them all. Yeah. Every challenge along the way, with courage I will face. I will battle every day to claim my rightful place. And with me, the time is right. There's no better team. Arm in arm, we'll win the fight. It's always been our dream. Pokemon, gotta catch them, oh, it's you and me. I know it's my destiny. Pokemon, oh, you're my best friend in a world we must defend. Pokemon, I can catch 'em, that's so true. Our courage will pull us through. You teach me and I'll teach you. Pokemon, catch them all, gotta catch them all. Catch them all. Catch them all. Gotta catch them all. Catch them all. Gotta catch, yeah. What's your guys' favorite Pokemon game? Oh, I guess that's the end of that. I thought there was more words. Okay, there. It's not. For some reason, my next suggested song was Michael Jackson. So that was not that I haven't read that. I mean, I've done a few Michael Jackson songs before. So I guess that makes sense. Lots of Pokemon things suggested right now. That makes sense. Go back to my homepage, which is just full of stuff about memes and Markiplier. Ah, so loud. Fuck. Okay, we'll end the video. Bye, everybody.